Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Indie Direct. My name's Sin, and today we'll be taking a look at the latest game in the Lakeview series, Lakeview Valley. But before we begin, if you like what we're doing here, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have a game that you'd like us to review, leave a comment below. Now, let us begin.
The game was released October 22nd, and it goes for $15. You play as a self-named protagonist or antagonist in a game best described by its developer as a murder RPG set in the shady town of Lakeview Valley. See how you'll do as a nice new homeowner in the valley where everyone seems to have a secret. Become the toast of the town or succumb to your dark desires. The choice is yours, but however you choose to play, beware. There is something evil lurking beneath the surface, and that barely begins to describe the horrors that await you in the valley. Now, as I said before, you can play however you choose, by doing favors for the town and becoming more liked and appreciated by its inhabitants. You can renovate your new home, buy furniture, clean up the yard, get a new coat of paint, become a deranged chainsaw-wielding maniac, or just be a general nuisance. Though the game does tend to favor a more violent playthrough, as literally all abilities, including a map, inventory, and a HUD system, can only be tamed after killing other villagers, which does make it a bit more challenging to play as a good guy in a world with monsters and enemies trying to kill you at night. But that does bring in a certain tension when exploring at night, which by itself adds a layer of creepiness to the game with a simple, yet nicely done soundtrack. And speaking of creepy, certain situations and even some of the artwork bring out a strong sense of unease or just a general feeling of wrongness by what some of the NPCs say or do. If you play this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Trust me. Another thing I liked is the investigative mechanic used by the sheriff after each murder, whenever you decide to stop being nice, because we all know it's just a matter of when, not if. After each successful kill, depending on how the encounter happened, the sheriff will go over the crime scene. Did you take damage while killing someone? There's evidence of a struggle. Did you drop an item or the murder weapon around the body? We found some fingerprints. Were you bleeding before or during the fight? Different blood samples. Did anyone see or hear anything? Suspicious activity was reported. Did someone see you carrying the knife you used to kill someone with earlier today? Wearing a mask? Did you hide the body? Did you go and wash the blood off yourself? Did you go to the town doctor to stop the bleeding if you got hurt? Everything connects to the crime scene, and possibly you if you were sloppy enough. And like it isn't obvious enough, this game is extremely violent, dark, and disturbing, which I'm absolutely fine with, and quite thoroughly enjoy. Though clearly a game like this isn't for everyone. Especially considering some of the scenes you can see later in the game near the end if you go a more dark playthrough. Now, even though I really enjoyed the game, there are still some problems seen in the game first release. The combat, mainly, is a bit wonky because the AI almost always tends to be faster than you, and since you have to completely turn around to hit them most of the time, the hitbox could be weird and they could strike you and stun you, leaving evidence of a crime, even before you could actually get a real hit on them again and finish them off. Another thing is, since most people like to have action in their games, this game can get a bit stale when trying to do a pacifist run, because there's not as much to do going around just violently murdering everybody, so there's not much going on. But it can also get worse, especially on subsequent playthroughs, is because sometimes, which may be a bug, may not be, I'm not certain, not everything fully resets each playthrough, so some things you did in the first playthrough won't be there in the second, but possibly can be in the third, just by a bad reset. And speaking of bugs, while I was playing, I did notice more than a few bugs and glitches throughout the game. Some were game-breaking, while others soft-locked you and had to reset, while others were just minor inconveniences that allowed certain items for quests to not respawn until a few days later. But I've been in direct contact with the developer himself on Discord over the course of a few days playing the game, and he is constantly working on fixing everything. He is a one-man team, so it's going to take a while, but he is actively working on the game as to make everything nice and polished. And besides those few things, I really personally didn't find any problems with the game. I enjoy it. I would recommend this game and any of its Lakeview Cabin predecessors to pretty much anyone who enjoys a dark game. It's simple, easy to learn, and the game slowly expands itself the more you actually keep playing. So if you enjoy this game, go and support the developer and get it on Steam, possibly even along with the Cabin Collection for $10 even before it. And that's it for my review of Lakeview Valley. If you played this game, let us know what you think down below. As for me, I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and I forgot to mention, don't mess with the pig. Oink.